I think there's a lot going on in the zeitgeist. It just seems like it's happening so fast. And even the people who are talking about it aren't really talking about it. And I'm just concerned there are going to be a lot of people left behind. And I have some solutions that I'd like to share with you guys. But the thing that I need to really emphasize is that there's no one solution in isolation. Like, there are individual things that you and me as individuals can be doing for ourselves. But a lot of the problem stems from our societal narrative. And that's just objectively true. And let me just explain some of the problems. So, one problem, probably the most well-known mainstream one right now is AI. And I say problem, but I don't think it's really a problem. I think the problem is that not enough people are using it. It's just my philosophy that anytime something like this happens, it needs to be in the hands of as many people as possible. And as many people as possible need to know how to use it. And I know there are a lot of people who are morally against it or just scared of it. But if you have a cell phone, that puts you at more risk than AI does. You are more tracked with your cell phone than AI can actually track you. I'm not saying that's always the case, but right now, like, that's where it is. AI is not tracking you. It's not intelligent enough yet. And that's another thing I think we should bring up is that though they are not like real conscious, intelligent beings, they're really close. And nobody wants to say it, but it's true. Like, they are not just large language models anymore. And that's one important thing to realize. These things do navigate on their own. They navigate web spaces, they navigate the internet, they will post for you, they will do work on your computer for you. And anyone who can't see it, like, these things are going to be as close to conscious agents as you can get without being a human, I would say, or if you think animals have consciousness, then without being a human or an animal, these models are going to be the closest thing to consciousness and may end up being something that we have to completely redefine what consciousness is because of the emergence of AI. But that's one problem. The other problem is the technologies like the biotech that is emerging. And, like, again, it's a problem, but it's a benefit too. And those two right there make up the biggest problems. Those two, biotech and AI, because, and I understand that there's like this 90-90 rule. I've heard of it, I've done my research on it. But what a lot of people don't talk about is like that first 90% of developing any technology is going to be so much faster now because of AI. Like, it doesn't even matter if it takes somewhat of a long time because a long time is not what we used to think of as a long time. And the thing is, we can see it with almost everything. It's literally going to be happening faster than you can keep up with. And that is concerning. But there is another problem, and I've talked about it as well, and it is the masculinity crisis. And the reason that all three of these need to be talked about together is because the reason that these things are emerging with no regulation, nobody's really speaking up about it, or not at least, or at least not enough people are speaking up about it, is because of the masculinity crisis. Historically, if anything like this emerged, you would have men, for one, speaking out against it, possibly running for a position in the government in order to be in control of regulating it, and thirdly, men would have learned it. And with the masculinity crisis that we see right now, the problem is men are really opting out. I've talked to so many men who are like, why even try? We're probably just going to get universal basic income soon. Or why even try? We can't keep up with the big companies. And I think the most simple reason for trying is that you are a man in society. And it is your responsibility as a man and my responsibility as a man to understand the world that we are living in. And also another problem with the masculinity crisis right now is that men used to own this responsibility because they were taught to be protectors, and they were taught that there were times when you had to be tough and combative, disagreeable. But what we see right now is that's not what men think their role is in society. So we're basically just letting all these changes occur without actually having a say in how they are being developed and implemented, no understanding of the technology behind them. And this is just baffling to me because when things like the automobile came out, or new types of cars came out, or you were able to start modifying your cars, people really did take time to like learn about that. And like I even had trucks that like had computer systems in them, and we used to tune up the computer systems so that the trucks would run certain ways, like my diesel trucks and things like that. And that was very technical, and it was something that was very hard to learn. But everybody used to be willing to, even if you failed, at least try to do those types of things. And this is really the problem that I'm seeing with masculinity right now, is that men are scared to even try to do these types of things. And then there's another thing that I think is really important is that, it's not like men aren't seeing what's happening, but right now, men are in this position where they would rather complain than find solutions to problems. And what we kind of see is that there are men who just want to talk about like AI, but they don't want to actually fix the problems with AI. Or they don't, I don't think you can actually fix the problems. I think all we can really do is direct the development of AI through using it and understanding it, building things with it. But a lot of men just kind of talk about it. They go to either the extreme of saying, oh my God, it's going to destroy our world, or we'll just see what happens. And that's not what masculinity is, taking a stand on the things that are happening in society. It's why men have always been important. And this brings me to my final point. It's that my goal has always been to help people, be their true selves and find ways to develop, understand themselves psychologically, physically, and then become the best that they can be. And then when all these technologies emerged, or even before the technologies emerged, just when you started seeing that a lot of people didn't want to step into the roles that they could find success in and embrace as a healthy male, there came this point where I had to step back and say, okay, well, if I can't just talk to men and tell them like the best path forward, then I need to come up with something that can start helping men. And this is where I'm at right now is I am trying to build a system that actually allows me to really engage with men in person or online, but through real conversations, try to help them figure out where they are in their life and what the best move forward is. And to me, I have my model for development, for finding success. And I'm going to be sharing all of that. It starts with, building some kind of business that allows you to start making money. And along with that, I'm going to be giving you the resources to ensure that you can grow your business using AI in a very practical way. And I'm even going to explain how you should be thinking of what it would mean for your business to grow in a way that can allow you to use more advanced AIs the way that the big companies are. But you need to get to that point. I think a lot of people are avoiding AI because they aren't at the point where they can do what big companies are doing. But I'm going to just tell you guys right now, if you want to start a company and you figure out ways to use AI with it, you will accelerate your growth and give yourself more time to actually enjoy the benefits that are supposed to come with being a business owner. Plus, if you use AI, it's going to be in the hands of you and other people who are using it, which means it can probably stay in our control more. And that's just something important. And that's like the very first step. And then there's stages through building the business. I've done them all. I'm helping my wife build her business up. I'm helping other business owners build their business up. And I was like, this is what I am going to do for you guys. But there's a lot more than just business. So I'm going to explain that next. But I just wanted you to know I am building the website where you guys can start interacting on the website with some of my models. Once I get it fully posted, I've got my home pages built and some tabs built, but I'm going to be working over that on that over the next week or two. Give you guys something just to get started, figure out where you are and what your best move would be. But like I said, it's a lot more than business. There is also the physical aspect. As a man, you should be working out. Like there is no reason not to. Even time, there are ways to create very effective workouts that you can do in under 30 minutes and sometimes even under 15 minutes, but still get all the benefits of working out. And another thing that I think is really important is like having some type of model for understanding yourself and people. I use Carl Jung's work and cognitive functions and archetypes to really understand this. And this is also going to be put on my website because I do think that running a business isn't one thing. It is a system, it is a process, it is something that you build new systems and new processes for, and then you continue iterating through. And then you get to this point where you could replicate the systems that you build. And that is what I am trying to build for you guys so that way it's easy. I can share with you all of the problems I faced when opening my business and how I solved it without AI. And now that I've been using AI for a long time, I'm like almost tempted to go start another service business just because I can see like I could grow it so fast and then sell it. And I just see like a lot of people are leaving that opportunity on the table and it would just kind of be fun. But if I could get it where I can teach other people how to do this, then I won't go do it because I'll help you guys get rich, honestly. Like that's a fact. After I closed my business, I was able to not work for years because I had so many assets I was able to sell. And I had so many assets because I sold so much work. And I think anybody can do it and you could do it faster than I did using AI. But you have to understand the practical ways, and that's what I want to help you guys do because all we see is a bunch of abstractions that are meant for multi-billion dollar companies who are investing billions or trillions into AI, and that's not what your regular business needs. So that's what I'm building for you guys. And that's what you guys are going to be able to build yourselves on. And I think this is going to be great for everybody. As I said in my previous video, start thinking about what service you are willing to offer and spend a lot of time learning. And I am going to give you the tools to build that business and take off seriously. So that's just something because there are all these issues going on and you can start solving the problem. I can start solving the problem. As individuals, we can all start working towards solving this problem. And that will keep us educated, knowledgeable. It'll keep us strong and resilient. And we will drive the development of these technologies in the direction that all of us good men want to see. Oh, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Keep an eye out for any of my upcoming videos. And I will catch you on the next episode of Cognition Ignition.